Look around you. Everything you think is a personal choice, the way you talk, the aesthetic of your home, the apps you're addicted to. It was all carefully planted in your head months ago by someone you've never met. Most people are just echoes. They wait for the world to tell them what's cool, what's acceptable, and what's next. They feel safe in the crowd. But then, there are the architects, the ones who feel the shift in the atmosphere before it even happens. They don't look at the leaderboard, they are the reason the board exists. They don't follow trends because to them, following someone else feels like wearing a dead person's clothes. Today, we're looking at the 6 psychological archetypes that aren't just ahead of the curve, they're the ones drawing it. These are the signs that don't follow trends, they create them. The psychology of the outlier. In psychology, we call this non-conformist authority. Most humans are wired for social mimicry. It's a survival instinct, don't stand out and you won't get hunted. But for these 6 signs, that instinct is broken. They find normalcy suffocating. They don't set trends because they want followers. They set trends because they're bored with the current reality. They're the first principles thinkers who ask why when everyone else is just nodding their heads. 1. The visionary, Aquarius. An Aquarius doesn't try to be weird. They just find your normal to be incredibly illogical. Think about that one person in your office or friend group who was talking about AI or minimalist living or a niche crypto project 3 years before it hit the news. While everyone else was laughing at them, they were already building a life around it. Psychologically, they live in a state of future-forward detachment. They don't care if you like their ideas today because they know you'll be paying for them tomorrow. They create trends because they're the only ones brave enough to be wrong for a while. They aren't ignoring the status quo. They just don't think it's relevant anymore. 2. The chess master, Scorpio. Scorpio doesn't create trends through noise. They create them through obsession. Imagine a creator on social media who disappears for 3 months only to return with a completely new aesthetic that everyone suddenly starts copying. That's the Scorpio energy. They dive into the dark corners of culture that others are too afraid to touch. The raw, the taboo, the intensely personal. They understand human desire better than anyone. They don't give the crowd what it wants. They give the crowd what it's secretly craving but was too embarrassed to ask for. By the time you realize you're obsessed with it, they've already moved on to the next secret. They don't chase the spotlight. They make the spotlight follow them into the dark. 3. The architect, Capricorn. Capricorn doesn't create fads. They create standards. When a Capricorn starts doing something, whether it's a new productivity method or a specific style of high-end branding, it becomes a trend because it works. They are the high-value archetype. People follow them because they want the Capricorn's results. They don't care about aesthetic if it isn't backed by power. They create trends in the corporate and social hierarchies by being so undeniably efficient that everyone else has to copy their blueprint just to stay in the game. They don't follow trends. They build the machines that run them. The provocateur, Aries. Aries creates trends through sheer blunt force. While everyone else is A/B testing and waiting for permission, Aries has already hit post, buy, or launch. They are the early adopters who don't care about being polished. They care about being first. In a world of safe branding and curated lives, Aries' raw, unfiltered aggression becomes a trend because people are starving for authenticity. They're the ones who start the chaos that everyone else tries to organize into a trend later. They don't ask if the world is ready. They just start the fire and let you deal with the heat. 5. The curator, Libra. Libra doesn't invent the tools, they invent the vibe. They are the ultimate social engineers. They see 2 things that don't belong together, like high fashion and street culture, and they marry them so perfectly that you can't remember a time when they were separate. They handle the social media behavior of our era with surgical precision. They know how to package an idea so it feels expensive yet attainable. They create trends because they have an instinctual grasp of balance. If the world is getting too loud, they start a trend of silence. If it's too boring, they bring the color. They don't tell you what to think, they show you how beautiful it looks to think like them. The purist, Virgo. Virgo creates trends by perfecting what everyone else did wrong. A trend often starts as a messy idea, but it doesn't become a standard until a Virgo touches it. Think of the clean girl aesthetic or the quiet luxury movement. These are Virgo archetypes. It's about the obsession with detail, the unseen quality, and the rejection of anything extra. They create trends through the power of no. By rejecting the loud, cheap, and temporary, they force the rest of the world to raise their standards. People follow them because a Virgo stamp of approval is the ultimate psychological green flag. They don't need to be the loudest in the room to be the one everyone is looking at. The terrifying truth about trends is that they are just a form of social proof. We follow them because we're afraid of being left behind. But the people who create them, they've already left the room. They realize that the second a vibe becomes popular, it's already dead. They aren't looking at what's on your screen. They're looking at what's missing from it. Being a trendsetter isn't about being cool. It's about being comfortable with the silence that happens before everyone starts clapping. So, look at your life right now. Are you the one doing the clapping? Or are you the one making the room go quiet? I want to know, who is that one person you know who is always 3 steps ahead? The one who does something weird that you secretly end up doing 6 months later? Drop their sign in the comments. And if you're one of these 6 signs, tell us, what's the next thing the world is going to be obsessed with that we don't know about yet? Subscribe if you're tired of being an echo and ready to find your own voice. I'll see you in the next one.